Okay, good afternoon, class. So today we're looking at from pages 5 onwards. At this point we have gone through some of you guys' errors. So we're just confirming everything at this point. Right, so here's our marker here. So we're looking at grade 8 geometry. We're on page 5. Okay. Even if there's something that you're confused about, please just stop here. We can confirm again from there. Okay. So at this point we spoke about if you got parallel lines, then we have 3 new theorems that comes into play. The one being, we said if those lines are parallel, it is corresponding angles. And corresponding angles are equal. If those lines are parallel, then your co-interior angles are what? What do you call 180? Supplementary. That's your co-interior angles. And then your Z. Okay? Or N. If those lines are parallel, the alternate angles are equal. Not so. So these angles they are equal. So with that in mind, let's tackle these questions quickly. The question says calculate the angles indicated by small letters. So what shape do you see here? The F. So the corresponding angles are equal. So A is equal to 150 degrees. Corresponding angles with PQ being parallel to RS. Okay, you guys agree with that? Right, let's look at the next one. B. Okay, relax. The F is lying this way now, not so. So then angle B is equal to 100 degrees. Why? Corresponding angle with AB being parallel to D. As you can see, that's a D there. So D. You all agree with that? Okay, the next one. C. Again, we have corresponding. Can you see that F there? So C is equal to 90 degrees. Why is that 90 degrees? Again, corresponding angles with LM being parallel to NP. You all okay with that? Let's see if it's better with the light off. Okay, with the light on. Okay, the lights are on now. Okay, so any confusion there? No? D. Again, the corresponding angles is coming to play here. You see that? So D is equal to 162 degrees. Why? CORR, corresponding angles with BD being parallel to NS. People, if you're going to leave this, the lines that are parallel out, you will lose the reason mark. Okay? So you must write which lines are parallel in for corresponding alternate and co-interior angles. Okay. Let's look at E. Again, these lines are parallel. Can you see that? So X is equal to 134 degrees. Why? Corresponding angles with AB being parallel to BC. Okay. The next one. So now when we mark this, many of you through this, if and you see that x is equal to y, which is absolutely correct. But you won't get any marks for it. The reason for that is because we are given an angle here. Can you see that? So, what can we calculate first at this point? X. So we say x plus 83 degrees equals 180. Why? It's a straight line. Angles on the straight line. Okay? So x is equal to 180 minus 83, which is 97 degrees. Okay? Because x is 97. Now we can see, can you see that? That if being formed there. Now we can say that y is equal to 97 degrees. Why? Corresponding angles with AB being parallel to B. Okay. That x is now no more represented as x, but now 96. You guys understand? Alright, let's look at. Are we still on page 5? Okay, let's just pull it out as we move along. Okay. We're on page 6. So, again, what we saw was people saying A is equal to B, which is correct, absolutely correct. And then C is equal to B. But again, no marks, people. You won't get anything there. Okay. So, looking at 145, what can be determined at this point? A, vertically opposite. Can you see that, people? So that is going to be 145. So A is equal to 145, vertically opposite. Okay. Now what? Can you see that F being formed there? Okay. So B is equal to 145. Why? Corresponding angles here. You see that, people? So B is equal to 145. Corresponding angles with AB being parallel to ST. Looking here again, these lines are parallel, so you will name those lines there. You guys understand? So there's two sets of parallel lines here in this question. Looking at C, what can we say here? See that F is lying that way now. Remember, these lines are corresponding, but these lines are parallel now. You guys understand? So C is equal to 145 degrees. Why? Corresponding angles. Now it's no more AB is parallel to CD to ST. It is now CD is parallel to EF. You guys understand? CD is parallel to EF. Okay. Looking at D. There's the F being formed now. So you see that D is 145. The reason? Corresponding angles. So D is 145 degrees. Corresponding angles. But which lines being parallel? Remember, it was that line here and this line here. So it's going to be AB, and AB is parallel to ST again. Am I moving too fast? No. Okay, but we have done this already. What can be determined now? E, by using angles on the straight line. So E is equal to 145. No, not 145. E plus 145 is equal to 180. Why? Angles on the straight line. So E is equal to 180 minus 145 which is 35 degrees. Okay. Is there any confusion? Huh? No confusion. Yes, Michael. So you went with E first? Okay, so you said E. So what did you use? You wrote A first, okay? So you said A is vertically opposite. Right? So you got the same thing. Then how did you calculate E? What's your reason? Coincidence, absolutely. So E plus 145 is 180. Co-interior angles there. So E would have been 45. And then 35, sorry. Yeah, you see, as long as you have applied something mathematical, then you're going to get the mark. Okay. And in geometry, people, there's many ways of doing it. Did they specify that to be done in alphabetical order? No. So you can't do it in any order unless specified. You must do it in numerical order, in alphabetical order, whatever. But most of the time, we don't specify. We allow you to use any method you want to use. Okay. Yes, Michael.
So then, ways of a straight line, because couldn't never mind. So that was the work out E.
So you're getting confused. So to calculate E, you must remember, because I understand what you are saying. What many students get confused about. They say that because they got that as 145, and they say that angles on a straight line. You must remember it's to do with the vertex and the arm here. Can you see that? So those angles on a straight line. You understand? So just watch out for the vertex. Those there would have been angles on the straight line, or that there, or that there, or so on. Okay, just watch out for the vertex, and that would be your guide. Okay. Anything else? No?
So,
Yes?
what if there was a line going through the next to E
Next to E.
on the vertex? What if there was a line going
A line going like this.
the other direction?
This way.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying if the line going like that.
This one.
So then you're going to have an angle looking like this. So it will be D and maybe 100 and then E like that.
Yes, sir.
Now then you must know one of the angles. So we say E is 50. Sorry, D is 50. Then you're going to be angles in the straight line. So 50 plus 100 plus E is equal to 180 straight line. You can have more than one angle on a straight line. Yes. But the reason why I needed to know this angle here is because when we set up our equation, there must only be one unknown. Unless you got a straight line looking like this. You got 2Ds, 100, which gives you 100, so you must get the 80. So you got maybe another 2D here. That will work for us. Why? Because by 2D plus 100 plus 2D is equal to 180. Why? Straight line. Now I can solve for these. 4D, 180 minus 100 is 80. So D would have been 20. Can you see that? Why? Because here this is fair. So it was one unknown, which is D. Can you see that? Whereas here we couldn't have used it because it's a D and an E. You understand? Any other confusion? Alright. Can we move on? Alright. So let's look at H. This was also another question that was poorly answered. So at this point we looked at corresponding angles mainly, not some. The corresponding angles is the F. Most of you started off by saying X is equal to Y, vertically opposite. People, that is correct. But you haven't solved for the unknown angles. You understand? The variables. Cornelius, you okay, my girl? The rugby keeping you up at night? Huh? You're sleeping. Your eyes is just closing. Okay, nice. I like it. Okay. People, so what can be done here? You look for corresponding. You see, these are the lines that are parallel. And these your corresponding angles are equal. Not so. So we say that x plus x, which is 2x, is equal to 126. Why? Why is that the case? Corresponding angles are equal, with FE being parallel to CD. Okay, divided by 2. So x is equal to 63. So that x is 63 and this x is 63. You see that, people? Now what? Okay, go with vertically opposite angles. You see that, people? So what do we say? Y is equal to 63 because it is vertically opposite. Okay. Z. See there that F is lying that side now. You guys understand? So Z is equal to 63. Reason? Corresponding angles with, see those lines are parallel. CD being parallel to EF. Okay, so these are just 63. Okay. Carry on. H. J. Here we are told that in the diagram, AB is parallel to CD. Is the diagram? Yeah. In the diagram, AB is parallel to CD. Okay. So if those lines are parallel, what comes to mind? Corresponding angles. Okay. See that corresponding angles is lying there. So A is equal to C. We have corresponding angles going this way as well. That way. So that angle is equal to that. You see there's no marking here. So I won't make a corresponding angle like that. Okay, and these are forced to. Okay? That corresponding angles can go like that as well. Not so. So that angle equal to this here. But no angles there. The angle of note. Otherwise it can go this way as well. Did I make this way now? No. And this way. No? But yes, Michael.
So what do you mean when you force to unless you force to?
If we need that angle in order to calculate another angle. If there's no other way of calculating, like if the only way to calculate E was that angle there, then I'm forced to. You know, that's it. Angles of the straight line, I got that, which is then in turn equal to that one. You understand? But these diagrams normally, there's enough information for us to do it without going into an unmarked angle. Okay. Then we are told that ST, EF and ST are transversals, straight lines cutting basically other lines, crossing other lines. But they are not parallel. So which means to say, although these angles are corresponding angles, but they are not, they're not equal. Although these angles are corresponding, they are not equal. When will it be equal? Only if the lines are parallel. That's the only time it will be equal. Does it make sense? No? Right. Calculate the value of A. So what's the value of A? Are you going to calculate A? Angles on the straight line. So it's going to be 85 plus A equals 180. Why? Straight line. So A is equal to 180 minus 85, which is 95 degrees. So A is 95. Okay. Write it in people. Is A equal to B? Is A equal to B? Is A equal to B? Why not? Is that not corresponding? Yes. But the lines are not parallel. The only corresponding angles will only be equal if lines are parallel. Okay. So the answer is B is not equal to A. Why? It's because EF is not parallel to ST. Okay. If without a line through it, it means parallel. With a line through it means not parallel. Can I use that in the exam? Yes. Okay. What do you want to ask, Princess? B is equal to? Is that the question? You can say that. So she's saying that you're going to first calculate B using the fact that these lines, those angles are equal, corresponding, and then say it's not equal because 147 is not equal to 95. You can say that if you like, yes. But it will just take you a step further, a long way around, okay? So in the next question, that question is asked. Okay, let's look at 3. It says, calculate the value of B, and B is 147. Why? Because of corresponding angles with, if you look at the F being formed like that, then it's AB is parallel to CD. You see that, people? So AB is parallel to CD. So that is 147. Any confusion so far? Okay. So then I'm going to take this off here. Okay. So number 4. Is C equal to 147? Is C equal to 147? No. You see, those are the angles are corresponding, but they're not equal. Why are they not equal? Lines are not parallel. Okay. So let's answer that then. The answer is no. Why? Because EF is not parallel to ST. Number 5. Calculate C. But what is C? C is 95 degrees. Why? Corresponding angle. You see that, people? So C is equal to 95 degrees. The answer is its corresponding angles with AB being parallel to CD. Okay. Let's look at question 6. Calculate E, D, and E. Alright, so this is 95 degrees here. So how are we going to calculate D? D. Yes? Alternate. Vertically opposite, yes. There's two transversals intersecting here. The vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay. Hey. They will just take out through for his class and send the valuation is small. Okay. So we're saying D is equal to 147. Why? Vertically opposite. Okay. So that's 147. E is 95. Okay? And that is also vertically opposite angles. Right? You guys understand?
Sir,
Yes?
can it also be coordinate?
Alternate. Is that what you're asking? What did you say? Can E also be?
Correspondent.
Corresponding. E. If you look at corresponding angles, that E will be corresponding to that angle. So you can't at this point use corresponding. Why? Because we don't know what the size of that angle is. Okay, let's face it the other way. Remember, we want to solve E. So if you're looking at facing it the other way, then that F is going to go this way. So I'm not picking up angle E. Can you see that? E is not being picked up there. However, at this point we have calculated alternate. We know how to do alternate angles. You could have said it's alternatives. Can you see the Z being formed there? So yes, you could have used alternate angles. Any other questions? Alright. So now this worksheet, this is on page 7 now, deals more with alternate angles. Okay. Trevor Noah, what on? Right. We're on page 7 now. And these examples we have done as well, not so? Right. So in this worksheet we mainly identifying the alternate angles. And the alternate is the Z or the N, not so? So let's look here. So what can we say? A is equal to? A is equal to? 148 degrees. Why? Alternate angles with PQ being parallel to? Okay. Don't confuse alternate with corresponding. Okay. Let's go to the next question. B. B is equal to 104. Why? With alternate angles, with AB being parallel to D. Fairly simple, no? Okay, the next one. Okay. What do you notice here? Again the Z being formed here. Not so? So C is equal to 90 degrees. Why? Alternate angles. With LM being parallel to NP. For those of you see a right angle, you're not going to get the mark there. Okay, because your reason there, the reason why C is 90 is not because it's marked a right angle, it's because the alternate angles are equal. Okay, that's how we got to C to be 90. Okay, not because it's a right angle. Okay, let's go to the next one. D. So again, the alternate angles here. Okay. So D is equal to 160 degrees. So alternate angles with BD being parallel to NS. Okay, so that is fairly simple. Okay. Is there any confusion? Okay, so let's just check here if I can delete this page. Yes. Right. E. Again, can you see the alternate angles being formed here? Here we go. So x is equal to 134 degrees. Why? The alternate angles with AB being parallel to CD. Okay, it's fairly simple, no? Let's go to F. Alright, so again, x is equal to y, alternate angles, but it's not solving x and y. Alright, so what can be determined first? First calculate x. So x plus 79 is equal to 180. Y? Straight line. So x is equal to 180 minus 79, which is 101. So x is 101. Okay, now what? Now we can go with the fact that that's alternate angles. So y is equal to 101 degrees. Why? Alternate angles with AB being parallel to. Okay. Look at G. Where do we start? Let's start with A. A is vertically opposite. Okay. So A is equal to 145. Vertically opposite angles. So I put 145 here. B. Yes? Corresponding. You can go with corresponding angles, absolutely. Can you all see that there? Corresponding with AB being parallel to ST, yes? Or we can use alternate angles here. Can you see? So any one of the two you'll get full marks for the exam. Okay? Or in the exam, sorry. Any one of the two you'll get full marks in the exam. So I was going to say B is equal to 145. It's alternate angles with AB being parallel to ST. What you notice, people, is that I'm always writing the angle that I've calculated on to the diagram. Okay? So that at one glance I can see exactly what I've calculated thus far. Okay? Let's calculate C. How are you going to calculate C? How are you going to calculate C? Also corresponding angles, not so. You see that F being formed here? Okay? So that is also 145. Corresponding angles. Okay? You see it's 145. Corresponding angles with CD being parallel to EF. How do you calculate D? Corresponding for D. That's corresponding, is now angle here. The Z is alternate angles. So D is equal to 145. Yes?
corresponding to 125 for A.
Or this way. No, absolutely. That's also correct. That is correct. Huh? Sorry, I thought you were moving the other way around. So D is 145. So alternate angles with AB being parallel to ST. Last one, E. 145 plus E. So it's 145 plus E is equal to 180. Why? Angles are the straight line. So E is 180 minus 145, which is 35. Okay, yes? Flow interior will also work, since that angle plus this angle will give you 180 degrees. Okay. People enjoy this every day. Good afternoon, class.